On Friday, July 4, 2025 in Los Angeles, a panel dedicated to Silent Hill F was held during Anime Expo. Despite the organizers' explicit prohibition against filming, a participant violated the rule to record the game's introductory cinematic, another video introducing the protagonists, and the beginning of the gameplay, which showcased the control tools and provided some information about the game's mechanics. These videos offered us a first glimpse of the atmosphere of this new installment. Conversely, during Sony's State of Play presentation in June 2025, we had our first look at Hinako in action. Specifically, the focus was placed on combat, somewhat reminiscent of the promotional campaign for the Silent Hill 2 remake. However, this does not detract from the essence of the game, as it generally prioritizes environmental storytelling and psychological horror over combat. Nevertheless, the latest trailer, June 4, 2025, and Konami Press Start, June 13, 2025, provided a significant preview of the gameplay and combat. Producer Motoi Okamoto suggests that our protagonist may have to endure a more physical experience, as the confrontations are as challenging as the obstacles Hinako must overcome. The combat is more focused on close quarters and action compared to Silent Hill 2, which was released last year. This combat system marks a bold departure by completely abandoning firearms in favor of intense, heavy, and strategic hand-to-hand combat. The player embodies Hinako, a fragile teenager, where each encounter becomes a true fight for survival. The weapons available in this installment are pipes, axes, knives, naganatas, or spears, each offering distinct reach, speed, and impact. The combat relies on a subtle balance between light or heavy attacks and managing distance. Each strike dealt or received carries weight, emphasizing the brutality of the encounters. Returning to the Silent Hill saga, it is acknowledged that the game was ahead of its time in terms of immersion, a concept that has become essential in modern games. If we consider all the Silent Hill episodes, the game had already incorporated the idea of limiting user interface elements to enhance the feeling of immersion in its universe. Unlike Silent Hill 4: The Room, where the blue health gauge and the yellow damage gauge were displayed during combat, which annoyed some players and proved that the HUD could not be hidden in the game settings. A similar case occurred in Silent Hill Homecoming, where the red gauge appears on the left during encounters and is displayed only when the protagonist is attacked by enemies. But it is less bothersome than in Silent Hill 4: The Room. Finally, in Silent Hill Book of Memories, a red health gauge and another for karma abilities are displayed throughout the game, or when you finish Silent Hill 3 on a difficult action level, you unlock a health bar. A yellow bar indicates your health, while a green bar indicates your stamina. In the case of Silent Hill F, we noted that the game offers gameplay without a HUD and another with one. This concludes that the interfaces will be toggleable like in the Silent Hill 2 remake. Additionally, QTEs may be included so that the protagonist can defend against the most violent attacks from enemies. On June 13, 2025, a making of video for Silent Hill F was released, titled Designing the World of Silent Hill F, featuring a message from the development team Neobards to fans, aiming to immerse them in the ambiance and atmosphere of this new installment. However, the part of interest in this video is the game interface, a red gauge, another green water gauge, and a silver metallic moon. The red gauge, the health bar, the green water gauge, the stamina, which depletes as the protagonist runs for an extended period, requiring her to catch her breath before starting again. This feature has been present since the first Silent Hill, and in the game, this stamina may function as resistance against heavy enemy attacks or evasions that deplete part of your bar. The moon, most likely it represents weapon durability. Many melee weapons break after several uses, encouraging players to find new weapons and manage resources. This hypothesis is based on the decreasing length of the crescent shape. Moreover, when Hinako uses the knife, the absence of the crescent suggests that this weapon is unbreakable, but inherently weak in terms of damage. We can say that weapons wear out over time, similar to the case in Silent Hill Origins and Silent Hill Downpour, which forces players to choose between power and longevity. Notably, the metal pipe, present in almost all Silent Hill games, deforms during combat, indicating that the weapon does not retain its shape throughout the game. Just a small detail. As the game progresses, the red health gauge increases. According to these two images from the game, this indicates that the protagonist has the ability to increase the volume of the health bar through a specific mechanism, which is difficult to theorize because in the Silent Hill series there has never been a setting to increase gauges and skills through a skill or agility tree, since the player does not acquire skill points to spend on improving the character's abilities. The player's experience in Silent Hill is built through progression in the story, exploration of the environment, and solving puzzles. The only justification we can make for these two red health gauges is that Hinako gains more volume in the health bar as she advances in the game. We are left with the final bar, the one representing flowers. In Silent Hill F, flowers are not merely decorative elements, they are central to the narrative, the visual identity, and the horrific themes of the game. Their presence in the HUD refers to danger, the corruption of the town, and the manifestation of monsters. The role of this blooming bar is akin to the role of the radio, which alerts the protagonist to the presence of monsters in almost all Silent Hill games. A small additional piece of information. In the 1960s, there was a small Sony TR-620 radio that could be portable, similar to the radios used in the franchise. But will the radio appear in this Silent Hill? Although there are Silent Hill games where the pocket radio is absent due to the context of those installments, such as Silent Hill 4, The Room, Silent Hill Shattered Memories, PT, could this also be the case for Silent Hill F or not? This is something we will find out soon. We have a lead regarding consumable items in the game. Konami has released the contents of the physical standard edition, and the deluxe edition is available exclusively in digital format, containing several elements of interest to us in this phase. If we examine the two images published by Konami, we notice the inclusion of a section dedicated to consumable items, a health kit, an abura age, and holy water. Let us begin with a health kit. Is an item available in all Silent Hill series games except for Silent Hill Shattered Memories. It is a healing tool that restores a significant portion of the character's health. It is often found in hidden locations within the games and is rare. It typically appears in the form of boxes indicating its medical contents. Thus, we can say that the developers have retained the same health kit, and its rarity will be part of the classic design of all games in the saga and survival horror in general. The shriveled abura age, or abura age, is a Japanese food item that has shriveled and become hard because it was not stored properly or too much time has passed. This is the case we have in Silent Hill F. The abura age will replace the health drink that slightly restores the character's health. Consumed in large quantities, it can match the effects of first aid kits. According to my hypothesis, this food item will not be scattered randomly around the town, similar to the previous Silent Hill games, but will be kept in cabinets, kitchens, and dressers where it will be protected from decay. We have arrived at the most mysterious item, the holy water. According to Shinto religion, water is sacred as it purifies both physical and spiritual impurities. Before entering a shrine, worshippers wash their hands and rinse their mouths at a fountain called chozuya or temizuya. This act, called misogi, is a purification ritual to present oneself clean before the kami. In Japanese culture, divine water can sometimes be consumed, but this depends on the ritual and sacred context. Here are the main cases. In some Shinto shrines, there are springs considered sacred. This water can be consumed by worshippers because it is believed to bring internal purification, health or longevity, spiritual protection. Example, at the Kumano Hongu Taisha shrine, water from the sacred spring can be drunk after bowing and purifying oneself. Holy water is among the consumable items that hide more mystery and ambiguity because its functionality and utility in the gameplay are unknown. We can say that all the qualities we have mentioned will likely be tools for protection and purification, since the overall context indicates that shrines will be among the places we will visit, and also the game's other world, known as Dark Shrine, will be a place corrupted by darkness. As a theory, if Hinako is caught by Higanbana's tentacular vines and manages to escape, she will certainly need to purify herself with holy water, either by drinking it or applying it to her skin, which darkens according to the first teaser, to avoid being corrupted by the hells of the other world. In all the trailers, we notice the tearing of the protagonist's clothing during several gameplay sequences, which demonstrates that the physical condition of the clothing is present in the game, as well as the damage to the body. However, the relationship between these two types of damage, clothing and bodily, does not affect Hinako's health bar. We can say that when she is injured, she recovers through the healing options available in her inventory, but the schoolgirl's clothing remains damaged even if she fully restores the red gauge. Nevertheless, the clothing is considered a separate accessory and it is believed that they can be retrieved in specific locations, which prompts Hinako to change her outfits in cases where they are damaged. This idea of changing outfits is not new to the franchise, as there is an exception in Silent Hill Downpour, where Murphy Pendleton changes his clothing 3 times during the game, but for narrative reasons. This is not the case for Hinako in Silent Hill F. In summary, Silent Hill F conveys horror that is visual, cultural, and emotional. It materializes the protagonist's torments, blurs the line between beauty and horror, and gives the game a unique identity within the franchise. We commend the work of Konami and Neobards. They succeed in renewing the saga while respecting its roots. The new mechanics promise an intense, mysterious adventure, and perhaps even a foundational one for the future of Silent Hill.